So unfortunately, Facebook Live was not working for me. Not sure why. I'm going to have to look more into that and maybe check my internet connection, and maybe I have to do it from somewhere else. I tried hooking it up to my Wi-Fi, and not only that, but also my hotspot, and it didn't work. So the show must go on. I hope you actually look at the video because this was a really good lesson. I thought it was a great lesson. So I'm going to do this video, and I'm doing this video, and it'll be posted on Facebook for you to see and replay and watch it over and over again. So as I was stating in my videos, I actually was in meditation last week about what would be the next lesson, and without even realizing it was Valentine's Day because sometimes I don't pay attention to a lot of stuff. So it was just like, I'm going to talk about relationships. And because I've been reading Lisa Nichols' book, she goes into describing the three types of relationships. And in that, she says she actually got that from Ayana Fix My Life. And I was like, oh my God, this is remarkable. This is kind of putting something in contents for how I've gotten through different relationships. Before we get into the three different types of relationships, there's one concept that I want you to understand. And you don't have to take my word for it, but just go and evaluate things and relationships that you have and see if this works. Do a little research. But what I've come to learn is that the relationships that are in your life are a reflection of you. It's hard for us to see ourselves and analyze ourselves and learn because we can't see it. So I feel like it's God's gift that He gives us as people to be able to see what's inside of you that is wonderful. And not only that, that may need to be worked on a little bit. We all have friendships, and sometimes no matter how much we love a person, it's something that irks you about them, whether it's platonic friendship or romantic relationship. There's going to be things about that person that was going to drive you bananas. And what I've learned is it's usually because those things are the exact same things that you need to work on you. And I'll give you an example. Sometimes we may have somebody that's like, oh my God, they are so selfish. I can't believe they did this, they did that. And it's like, if it irks you that bad, it's probably because there's something deep inside of you that could be selfish and you need to make work on that. And some of us like, no, I give. But sometimes selfishness manifests in different ways. Maybe you don't want to give time, but you'll give money. And that means you're selfish when it comes to your time. Or maybe you'll give time and you'll hoard your money. And that could be you're selfish with money. So, or selfish with your friendships, or selfish with all kind of stuff. Just because the selfishness that you see in them isn't the same that you have. If it's irking you, I can tell you 9 times out of 10, it's something that you need to work on. So today, beginning today, if you have not done that already, begin to analyze those friendships and see where things irk you. I know I have a friend, and I call her like one of my closest friends. If I told you what I call her, then you'll know who she is. But I'm always like, she's so bossy. She gets on my nerves. She's so bossy. But deep down, I know it's because me, myself, I'm kind of bossy. I've been that way since a kid. Some of my cousins, they used to say, you always got to be the teacher. You always got to be the mother. You always have to be the doctor. When we play, we didn't even want to play with you as a kid because you always had to be in charge, and I feel like that when other people are bossy, it irks me because I know, and that's just analyzing myself, that deep down, whether I want to admit it or not, I'm bossy, okay? So there's something that I'm actually trying to learn to work on. But without that being irritating from other people, I would never understand that that's something that I need to work on. It's always a great time to be a boss, but sometimes you need to learn how to sit down and take guidance. You're not going to know everything about everything. So once again, just keep that fact in mind as we go into the 3 types of relationships. So the first one is what she calls a lifetime relationship. And I know a lot of us are really looking for that lifetime relationship. And it's great to have that, but don't stop there. Like, this is what we're all gaining for that lifetime relationship, but it doesn't mean that the other two we're going to get into aren't as important, because they're there to help you get into the lifetime relationship. So this is a relationship that doesn't mean that it's perfect, but it means that no matter what neither one of you guys do, you're going to be together. Even if you're trying to break this up, it's not going to happen. It's going to find some way to balance itself out. So what's another? Oh, no matter what happens, this relationship will last forever. And I know this is something that we're all striving for, and this is a great place to be. So, but we're gonna see that as the relationship goal. Okay, that's one of your goals, is to, if you haven't done so, is to manifest that lifetime relationship. But then we have two other ones, and like I said, remember, in the lifetime one doesn't mean that at one point you won't grow past your partner, but what happens is somehow that person it'll balance each other out. So you'll pull them along, or they'll pull you along. It'll never get too out of whack. It'll always go back up and down, and then eventually balance each other out. So that's the lifetime relationship. Then we have the life-giving relationship. Um, the life-giving relationship, this relationship usually doesn't last that long. It's there to like bring a spark back to your life, put you back in the game. You've just got out of a relationship, or you haven't dated for a while, and you meet this person, and it's like full of energy. You're feeling yourself. You're like, oh yeah, I'm feeling good. It reminds you of your value. Like, oh, I still got it. And it reminds you never to settle for less, because this person has shown you what's so great inside of you. And this relationship is usually full of energy, very, very full of energy. And it usually is like, it's like gassing you back up. You've been sitting on empty, you haven't really been in the game, and this person comes along, and it's just like lights the fire. You're on fire. Life has just become great again. But what happens is that's just it. Somehow it's so full of energy, it ends up burning itself out. But if you recognize that and take from that, like, oh my God, I'll give you a really quick story. Before I met my husband, I was dating this guy. It was very short, and that's one of the things of one of the characteristics of a lifetime relationship. It's like very short, even from a couple weeks to like a year. But this relationship does not last that long. And I actually had known this person for a very long time. And it was like I had been in prayer to God, like, okay, so I'm ready for my Mr. Long-term lifetime relationship. I've been through the other ones, and they just weren't there, and I'm tired. So that was my prayer. And then this person comes along, and we're having fun. It was very short, it wasn't that long. And he was pulling out doors, he was telling me how beautiful I was, and next thing you know, something happened. And in hindsight, I was like, who do you think you are? How the situation happened. In my mind at that time, it could have ended better, but it didn't. But knowing this and understanding the purpose of it, I realized that relationship showed me how beautiful I was, and that there are guys out there that are going to see that beauty within me, and they're going to open doors. Because one of the things he would say, Julie, this is what you deserve. This is how you deserve to be treated. And it's like, you're right. You're reminding me that I still got it, regardless of what happened in the last relationships. And then it ended. And understanding this, I have no bitterness towards this person, like zero bitterness. He came at that right time to tell me that I was beautiful. You deserve a guy like this, because to be honest, he's a great guy. He is a great guy. He just wasn't the guy for me. But at that point in time, God sent him to show me that this is what I deserve. And there are guys out like this. And I'm going to get me one, even if it's not him. So it brought life back to me. So if you've been in a relationship like that before, then I want you to think about that. Who's been the person that came in to give you life? When you put on your black freakum dress and go out, and you like, oh, I know I still got it. I met Bob down the street, or however, or whatever, and we've been on a few dates, and it probably won't even go that far. Like I said, the lifetime relationship is very, very, very short, and it's to just spark you and gas you back up, and it often leads you to your lifetime. So this was the life-giving one. So remember, it just brought you back to life. And last but not least, it's what we call a purposeful relationship. So this relationship usually lasts a year or more, and actually sometimes it can last a decade. So you could have been married, and this was a purposeful relationship. So you guys are together for a specific reason, whether it's to raise children, build a business, help you grow up, and not only that, but teach you how to love. Because to be honest, that's an art in itself. Really learning how to love another individual, or it can either, like I said, help you grow up. The thing about this is that once that purpose has been fulfilled, you have to leave it. And what happens is, a lot of times these are the ones that hurt the most, because they're long term, and a lot of us maybe like I said, a year to a decade. I thought that was my lifetime relationship. I thought that was that. But actually, I'm pretty sure if you go back and look at those long term relationships that lasted more than a year, you can find a reason why you were in those relationships. There's a specific reason that had to be accomplished. And once that purpose was given, then it needs to end. But what happens is, a lot of times you try to stay in that relationship, and it becomes chaos, because it's not there, or oh my God, the spark isn't there anymore, because the purpose has been fulfilled, and now it's time to move on. I have no problems with sharing my relationship. I try to be the different relationships I've been in, I try to be very authentic and really give you the true me, because I always tell you, if I can manifest these things and God has blessed me with these things, that you can be blessed too. There was another relationship that I was in. This one was, like I said, longer than a year. And at the end of it, it got very toxic, but I realized why I was there. It was actually a relationship I was in on and off since high school, going through college. Different people came, but this relationship continued to go on. So it went through the bulk of my college experience. And I realized now that the purpose of this relationship was to get me through college. He was a very big support in my life. Like, when you're in college, you can be dead broke. You don't really have any money. So he made sure that everything was taken care of. If I needed something, he was there. And he was a great person. Like, he was a good person. And even me, if you you don't know him, but people around us that know him, they'll be like, well, and you helped him realize that he can go farther than an associate's degree. So the purpose in my life was for me to be in his life, was to make sure he got, his education all the way to the master's level. And I congratulate him that on all the time. And sometimes we'll see each other. And my mom's like, oh, I ran into so-and-so. He's doing really good. Oh, that's awesome. Because his purpose was to make sure I was okay. And my purpose was to make sure he got all the education he needed. So when that purpose was fulfilled, we had to go our separate ways. Don't mean it didn't end ugly, because I wasn't that enlightened back then. But when I told you, none of my exes, and there's one that was really bad, but none of them I have any grudge towards. Even before I met my husband, I always felt like that those people were in my life for a reason. So we're here now. You have your lifetime relationship, whether you're in that now or you're looking to manifest that. You know that it's not going to be perfect, but it will never end. No matter what you guys do, it will always balance itself out. Then we have your life giving relationships, that's the ones that are really short, less than a year, and it's to get you back in the game, to know how great you are, so you can get juiced up and get back in the dating game. And then you have your purposeful relationship, and it's for a specific reason. You guys were put together, and you have to realize that, and that you don't want to take these further because they become chaotic if you try to stay in it longer than what the purpose was for. And maybe at that time you don't even know what the purpose was for, but go back and try to analyze that. So I have an exercise for you, like I always have an exercise, and I want you to write down a list of all the relationships that you've had. And I want you to go through it, and I want you to figure out whether it was, and of course, if you're not in relationships, then maybe I know you haven't met that lifetime partner yet. So we'll leave that blank. But if you are in a relationship and it's lifetime, awesome. But I want you to write down these relationships, and I want you to put a title next to it. So try to figure out, was it this like relationships, was it life-giving or was it purposeful? And if it was life-giving, label it life-giving. And if it was purposeful, try to figure out the purpose it was, because that helps give you closure. You know, sometimes you're never going to get closures from those people. That person that relationship was life-giving, we never got closure. I never even talked to this person about the situation. This person is gone and married. I'm married now, but I know in my heart that it was a life-giving situation, you know. So try to go through those relationships and put down whether it was life-giving or was it purposeful. And if it was purposeful, try to find the purpose that was in it, and then that helps you to start healing. Because a lot of people, what happens is they get very bitter. They get, oh my God, I get failed relationship after failed relationship after failed relationship, and it's them, and you're the victim. But as I said, you manifest and attract what's inside of you. So at that point, you have to use those relationships not to be a victim, but to be a victor, to get victory. Because either you learned a lesson out of it, it brought life to you, or you did a certain goal. So going through those relationships and label them, and understanding what part they play, that's going to give you healing. Because we don't want to be bitter. We want to be better. So we want to take those examples and really go through them and try to figure it out and try to bring closure. And that doesn't mean you have to pick up the phone and call that person to say, you know what, Joe, you was a life-giving person and you ain't it, you know. But I know, no, this is for you. This is to help heal you so that you can start to get those things out that you don't want to attract anymore, and begin to heal so that you can bring that life-giving, you can bring that lifetime relationship in. So that was the lesson I had for today. Unfortunately, since this is a video, I'm not going to put on the 15 minutes of meditation, but I do encourage you to, I'll put a link in the comments so that you can actually go and listen to a 15-minute meditation, because I'm telling you, it changes your life. I want you to do that exercise where you write down your relationships and figure out what category it goes in, and I want you to start healing, because I'm telling you, I truly believe, whether others want to believe it or not, I truly believe that we all have a lifetime partner here, and that it is up to us to do the work so that we can attract that person into our lives. Not that we can go out and find them, but that the better we get, the more the better attraction that will come, and that we get those lessons out. I may, live in a fairy tale. I don't know, but I truly believe that we all have a lifetime relationship out there. So, thank you so much for being patient. I don't know what happened with Facebook Live. I really liked it though, because a lot of times people wouldn't come over to Pinterest. To Periscope, because you guys are used to seeing me on Facebook. So I really want to give it another try, but I'm going to have to figure out a better signal thing, because I can't have people running back and forth and trying to figure out what happened. And I don't know, it kind of interrupted my learning flow. But everything happens for a reason. You'll have this video here that you can replay and replay and replay. And you're going to do that as assignment. And you're going to figure out those relationships. And you're going to click the link in the comments and do your 15-minute meditation anyway. So I wish you love and light, and do the work. Do the work. You guys have a great night.